is the Infinity Summit Group. Truth, passion, success.
The Infinity Summit Group. Once again, I'm Noah.
I'm Xavier.
Logan.
Jesse.
Today we're talking about the 12 Rules for Life, An Antidote to Chaos by Jordan B. Peterson. As some would say, Papa Peterson.
Papa Peterson. I'm pretty excited for this one, actually. I've been anticipating this one for a while. This is one
Pretty much since inception of this group, right?
Yeah,
we were all
since we
like,
started.
okay, what books do we love? 12 Rules for Life.
Yeah, that was probably the first one that
principles.
came to my mind.
Yeah. Just
But-
a good, solid basis for life.
All right, my first question is, Logan,
Yes.
you're the only one who hasn't read this book previously until now. What did you think about it? Like, did you like it? Or was it more like, okay, it's a book?
No, I liked it. Yeah, apart from his voice that I couldn't really focus on, I thought there's a lot of good lessons in it. Definitely valuable and would recommend everyone.
Yes, he does sound very similar to Kermit. As, from what I've, from like people's descriptions of him, that's what they say. I haven't seen much Kermit.
Didn't register to me as Kermit either.
No, I didn't hear it that way, but I guess some people think he's kind of Kermit-y, but
I could see the similarities for sure, but they've got a totally different, like, voice. It's just like, if you took an average person's voice that doesn't sound like Kermit the Frog, and then you take his voice and put it next to it, it's like, okay. He kind of
It's
sounds
closer.
similar.
Yep. Yeah. I quite like his voice because it's not like those books where you're normally learning about how to actively pursue life, where it's just some manly man being all, gotta take it by the balls, you know?
Yeah.
No, it's some high voiced, I don't want to clean my room, you know?
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
And from what he was saying in his book, he was actually a scrawny kid who got bullied.
Yeah.
So,
And now he's a academic that gets bullied.
Yes,
Yeah, well.
still scrawny as well.
But he does the bullying back.
I was going to
It's
say,
good.
bullied is strong term with what? It's more like a
They try.
confrontation.
They try.
Yeah. Take shots, but he's way too well guarded. Well prepared.
They may take shots, but he's got the whole bottle in his hand.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we'll jump right into rule number 1 here. And that is stand up straight with your shoulders back,
Like a lobster.
just like a lobster. So he talks about lobsters in this book, and that's because their neurochemistry is very
Similar.
similar to humans.
Antidepressants work on lobsters and they work on humans
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, we
Prozac
got-
has the same effect on a lobster as it would on a human.
That's so cool. Basically, we've got serotonin, we've got oxytocin, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think those were the two hormones. And serotonin makes you more alpha, makes you more dominant, makes you willing to get up and try again. Whereas oxytocin, am I saying that right?
Oxytocin?
Yeah, oxytocin. That's what I thought. I was thinking OxyContin. I was like, no, oxytocin.
That's
Yes.
a drug.
Yeah.
He does mention that, but that's later.
Yeah.
With his daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, oxytocin kind of makes you more submissive. You don't want to try again. Makes you a defeated person.
Makes you a beta.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yep.
So basically, if you want to be on the top of what he calls a dominance hierarchy, or refers to as a dominance hierarchy, even though he corrects it later and says it's a competence hierarchy, which has to do with dominance.
Well, he calls it a dominance hierarchy in terms of lobsters, but people, it's competence, right?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, because lobsters aren't like competent. They don't do
They just-
work.
My claw bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's kind of the same principle, though. I mean, if you have more competence than another human, you're kind of higher on the
Yeah.
hierarchy scale.
Yeah, and
it's the
that's
same principle, but I think competence has more that goes into it than dominance.
It's
Dominance
definitely
is I'm
more-
stronger than you, but competence would be like I can do more than you.
It's more
Yeah.
complex, for sure.
Yeah,
Takes a
and
lot
humans
more.
have a dominance hierarchy as part of their competence hierarchy.
Mm.
That's what it seems like, whereas lobsters just dominance, and that's it.
But I found, like, what he said, when I was listening to it again, he was saying, like, you know, nature, it's in different situations. Because, like, you can step into, like, one place, like, say a workplace, like, if they worked in construction,
Mhm.
there's a dominance hierarchy in there. But
Oh,
if you
it's
take
so fun.
somebody else who's dominant in another area and put it there, they're not going to be dominant anymore in that area.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But there are people who, no matter where you put them, they have that competence.
Yeah.
And they will rise at or near the top of each place you place them.
Yeah, with time and
Yeah.
Connection.
That's the cool thing about humans is whether you're the strongest or not, you've got a good brain, and that's not the only ranking in the world, Much like lobsters unlike lobsters where they only go off of dominance.
Yep. And what it was shown in the book and the studies that he was going over is that a defeated person will tend to stay defeated.
Mm-hmm.
And a higher person on the dominance hierarchy will tend to stay there because that the serotonin in their brain makes them keep going. And is oxytocin the one that makes you like depressed?
I don't know if it is in humans, the one that makes you depressed.
Or is it just a lack of serotonin?
I figured it was a lack of serotonin. Maybe there's some other things going
Because
on.
I thought that lobsters had serotonin and oxytocin. I don't know if humans have oxytocin, but I know we have serotonin.
Oxytocin sounds familiar enough.
It's widely used like
What's
word.
the tech guy say?
It says it mostly affects females. It decreases your social motivation and can contribute to depression.
Okay.
Mostly in
Okay.
females, though.
Because they're more emotional and social than men. Right? That makes sense?
Yeah,
at least
I would
maybe not
think they have a
emotional, but
lot
socially.
more hormonal swings, which would make sense why they produce more of it and are more prone to it, I guess.
Either way,
I don't know. I'm not an anatomy genius.
A more depressed person continues to kind of have bad things happen to
Spiral.
them. Yeah, they
Yeah.
spiral. Once you get in that realm, you spiral down. And that's the whole idea of holding your shoulders back is you look like you're ready to take on the day. You're ready to look like you can take on anything, and that in turn sends signals to your brain that you are confident enough to do things.
Yeah. Well, taking on anything could result in taking off anything. Depending how competent you are in that realm.
Yep.
But,
Yeah, number one sounds a lot like face the world with your head held high, basically.
oh, yeah.
Go into it willing to
Carpe
fight for what you're
diem,
doing.
as it were.
Yes.
Seize the day.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Peers will look up to you, too, which will help you, keep on going,
Even if you're short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of being the depressed person that nobody wants to be around.
Yeah.
I mean, humans flock to positive energy. Like, nobody tries to go hang out with some mopey person. It's not fun.
some energy vampire.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. No, they want to be around people that make them feel good.
Mm-hmm. Got them bright eyes and bushy tails.
Yeah, exactly. For all you fuck boys, for lack of a better term. That's the secret to getting chicks. Don't be a mopey mope.
So stand up straight with your shoulders back. Keep that solar plexus expanded, and it will bring good vibes your way and good people. On to rule number 2, eh?
Rule number 2.
As he would say, Mr. Peterson, eh?
Canadian.
He's Canadian, yeah.
Yes.
He's
So
he's a professor in Toronto, isn't it? Something
He's
like
also taught at Harvard, too, though.
that. No kidding.
Really?
Yeah, he says it in the book. He did some lectures over there. I don't know on what. Some neurochemistry, something or other.
I believe it. He's smart.
Yeah.
Has a wizard brain. That'd be so cool to have him on.
Oh, dude.
That'd be cool.
One day.
I would feel inferior. I'd be all, oh, Daddy Peterson, teach me. Anyway, sidetrack. On to rule number 2. Treat yourself like you are someone you are responsible for helping. So this one is saying like someone will take better care of their dog than they take care of themselves, right? You make sure your dog has a good diet. You make sure they get all their meds, all their vaccines, all this jazz. But with yourself, if you have to do a diet, if you have to take pills, anything, you often end up slacking and not taking care of it.
Yeah.
You don't see it through. And it's very interesting the way he put it, because The way I would put it is, yeah, most people get lazy. They don't want to see their dog suffer, but as far as themselves, they can put up with it, and it's like, whatever. And I think people get lazy. The way he put it is, even from the outset of humanity, with our very first written stories of, we'll say, Adam and Eve, our first moral teachings, as it were, we humans are the lesser in the universe, lesser than gods, as it were. And so the way he puts it is, because we are such miserable beings, full of suffering and meant to suffer on this earth, then it only makes sense that we forego these medications, we forego these diets when it comes to our own bodies. But when it comes to someone else, we'll take care of them till the sun turns blue,
So basically saying we're not worthy of our own
Exactly.
good treatment.
Yeah.
I love that chapter and the way he puts it. You're like, just attacks people. You're such a pathetic, disgusting
I love it, dude.
creature.
It's no wonder you don't take care of yourself. You're terrible.
And why would you?
You're a worm.
It's bad, but it's relatable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so true though. But
Who looks in the mirror every day 100% confident, 100% just like, yeah, I am the shit.
yeah,
People are like, no, I see my imperfection. I know my imperfection. And so why am I worth it?
because who knows your own sins and your just vile actions,
Indiscretions, yeah.
indiscretions better than yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's a trick of like deciding to love yourself enough and push past your past to reach for something higher.
I dare say this is, I dare say something like this is also found in the 10 Commandments. Love thy neighbor as thyself, but I could say love thyself as you love thy neighbor.
That's interesting. I like that.
For this one, it's very, very comparable, I dare say. Because if you're loving your neighbor like you love yourself, you're probably going to be insulting your neighbor all the time, and that's not conducive to a good relationship with them. So, love yourself as you love thy neighbor, even if it's just a, kind of a high and by kind of thing. At least you're not being mean to him.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, treat yourself like you are someone you are responsible for helping. So, be kind to yourself.
Basically, take care of yourself.
Yeah, we talked about this in a whole episode.
Yep.
Self-care.
Yep.
Put on your deodorant. Brush your teeth. It's good for you.
Yes. Shower.
Shower every day. Get your working out in. Yes.
If you need to, smile and wink at yourself in the mirror every morning.
Oh yeah. Check
Affirmations.
yourself out. Do some muscles.
Yeah.
Air guns.
Just don't post it on Facebook.
You could. It's might not
possible.
end well, but
Oh,
you
you
could.
could.
But it's not about their love of you. It's about your love of you. So, there you go.
Exactly.
If you post on Facebook, that's besides the point. It's not necessary. All right. On to rule number 3 of 12 rules for life. Make friends with people who want the best for you. Energy vampires. We talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
They will suck your life away with no benefit.
Yep.
It's like, yeah.
It's that girlfriend that's super needy, that's always depressed, that always needs you to, give them
Or boyfriend.
affirmation.
For
Or
you
boyfriend.
lady
Yeah.
listeners out there.
Yeah, this isn't gender specific. It's anyone really. It's not just in relationships,
Oh,
but
yeah.
like just anyone.
Relationships are the easiest to
Relate to.
Relate to it, yeah.
The way that he put it too about all the souls in the cauldron or whatever in the devil's wood. This was that chapter, right?
Yeah, where they're tearing
Yeah.
each other
Yeah.
down back
Yeah,
into
the
the cauldron.
communists.
Yeah, pull each other back down, the Russians or whatever.
Yeah.
What he put. That's accurate to the real world.
Misery
what-
loves company.
That's what crabs do too. One tries to climb out of the bucket, the rest will pull it down, trying to get out. So, very interesting. But I feel like I cut you off by accident, Zay.
No, it's
Okay,
fine.
good.
I was just kind of relating it to like a girlfriend or a boyfriend that's just like, you can tell they're unhealthy for the partner. That one partner's doing most of the work, the other one's kind of just feeding off their energy, feeding off their money.
Yeah.
It goes on, and people stick with them, and it's like, don't be friends with those people. It's not good for you. As much as you think you're helping them,
Yeah.
you're not helping them. You are just destroying yourself.
You're aiding and abetting them with their lack of drive for life. If they suddenly realize they don't have any friends to feed upon, then they're going to have to do something about it.
Sometimes, like, the truth, or, like, how am I trying to say this? Sometimes the punch in the face is better than the pillow. You know?
Oh, yeah.
If that analogy makes sense to anyone.
Rip off the Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Get rid of them.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the truth rather than a white lie.
Yeah.
Yes. Although I do have my share of white lies that I tell. Just small things though, you know.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. I was gonna say, if we're talking 100% truth, no, I don't.
I don't believe even Abraham Lincoln didn't lie once. That's
Oh, heck no.
I don't believe that.
He was a politician.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, here.
People will rise to the occasion, though.
Yeah.
Like if you tell them, yeah, you're a fucking drain on society, bro. They'll be like, oh, okay. Then what do I need to do to be different?
Do you mind if I use you as an example? It's not
Absolutely.
not a bad example.
No, that's fine.
So, for example, when we at this group's inception earlier, it was last year now. What's up? Almost. We're gonna have to do a
First or
1
second
year.
time?
First or second time. On our 1 year anniversary, we're gonna have to do a party or something.
So
Not
down.
gonna lie.
So
When
down.
is our
Let's
1
do it.
year?
Huh?
When is it?
April.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
April
We decide when in
20
April.
something, right?
It might have been
It's
towards
April
the end.
2020 is what I have on there. I don't have a date.
Day
But-
doesn't really matter. Just
No,
in April.
just
somehow.
April.
Whatever, perfect.
Anyways, so as an example, upon our inception, our second inception, which is our first official start date, I kind of don't really count the first one. It was more of an experiment than anything.
Yeah.
Beta testing.
Yeah, we were still in the trial period. When we first started that, we were trying to figure out who would be an accountant, who would be whatever job, who would be social media, things like that. And I knew that Zave had some interesting times in the past financially, right? We'll say more so than the rest of us. And so I was like, you know what? Let's assign him to accountant because I want him to be able to rise to the occasion or die trying, burn. He's either going to do it or he's going to burn, fizzle out, and quit. So I was very interested to see what you did with it because I also believe that you give someone a task, they rise to the occasion, or they decide not to, and then you move on from them. You don't waste your time, essentially. So Zave's been freaking awesome as an accountant. He's done nothing but fantastic. He's done all the books great. He's done all the keeping track of each of our money's great. All the monthly fees. I mean, it's been fantastic. So gracious for that.
Yes.
It's been a good time. Really holding us together with that.
Holding the monies together.
Oh yeah.
No, I agree, and I feel like I don't know if it's the best route for everybody to get thrown in. Some people learn different, but I know for me, if I'm like trying to learn something, getting thrown into it immediately and having no choice but to do it, that's the best way for me to learn.
Heck yeah.
Absolutely. That's how it happened with my job, anything basically that I get good at is just do it. Just start doing it.
Nike. We're sponsors.
Oh, no, I don't like Nike. Not gonna lie.
For
But
real?
if we were sponsored by them,
Everybody wears it.
Comfy, man.
They
They're
are
so
comfortable.
nice.
I
Vans and
did
Nikes
not
my
like
favorite.
Nike until I tried it out and saw the quality behind the name.
They just last so much longer.
Yeah, when I wear
Really?
Nike rather than other shoes, they do last longer. They don't make my feet stink, and they're way breathable. Those are all things I need for my job. So I also disliked Nike until I got them, and I was like, okay, I'm going to try this out, see if there's actual hype behind this. I would invest in that company.
Okay.
Me personally. So, yes. Just for all you listeners out there, just so you know, I'm not being paid by Nike.
Yeah. We're not getting paid by anyone currently.
Hey. We're
Currently.
getting paid by ourselves.
Currently.
Just kidding. Our own goals are funding this thing.
Yes.
It's been a good time. Speaking of that, little side note here, we are working on getting a 8-way microphone splitter and an 8-way
Headphone?
Headphone splitter. Yeah, that'll work. Just so we can have some guests on, because right now our current splitters are maxed out with the 4 of us.
Yeah.
So it's not cheap equipment, but it has been so worth it to get the nicer equipment. We're also getting another mic, 2 more headsets, because mine decided to quit this time, at least partially. And yeah, just updating listeners. Anyway, Sorry about that. So make friends with people who want the best for you. I personally have known people, we'll say in elementary school, because I was an outstanding student. I got tons of awards. I'm not boasting here, but this is who I was. I was fantastic. And I would make friends with people who were not as successful as me, and I would feel bad every time I got an award because they would not get it. So it was very, very interesting to look back now. I didn't see it then. I just felt like it was, I don't know, me being humble or something. But current me would not have made friends with them in the first place, because that is not my energy field. That's not matching my vibrational, we'll call it, wavelength in life. So yeah, very interesting. Very interesting.
This one's pretty straightforward. If you haven't heard about this one, it'd be pretty wild to surround yourself with people that want the best for you.
Yeah, you're the culmination of the 5 closest friends to you, pretty much.
Yep. Show me your friends, I'll show you your future.
Yeah, exactly. But as a group, we are changing our futures.
Yeah.
Making it good.
We have.
Yeah, I mean, frick, we're killing it. So I'm loving it. And we're all turning a new leaf. We've all got liquid cash now. We've all got. Anyway, I'm gonna stop boasting. That's for another podcast. But we'll talk about it all.
Savings than I ever have.
Same, like considerably more than I've ever had. So
Yeah.
I'm loving it. Yeah. And that leads us perfectly into number 4. Rule number 4. Compare yourself with who you were yesterday, not who someone else is today. So, as one would say, we're blocking out the haters.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I went there, okay?
You stoop.
I didn't want to, but I did. I'm bending backwards here. And I'm not flexible. So pretty much we try to do this in every aspect of the Infinity Summit group, where we're pushing hard to create our own destiny and not compare ourselves to other people. We're just blazing our own trails.
Yeah, and I would say what goes along with that is like what other people think of you as well matters nothing. I truly believe
Doesn't
this.
matter.
Let me know what you guys think about this, but someone else's opinion of you is not your business. It's their
Agreed.
business.
Yeah.
Yep, they can keep it to themselves. I don't
Yep.
care.
Well, it's a reflection of what they see bad about themselves that they're just going to take out on you.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
If it's a
at least.
positive opinion or a negative opinion, you can choose to keep it to yourself or not. That is entirely up to you, and I have no obligation to take it to heart.
Yep.
So that's fantastic. So that pretty much sums it up, huh?
Yeah. I mean,
Don't even.
it's easy to see people on social media, especially nowadays, and be like, "Holy crap, they
Oh,
have
yeah.
so much."
Oh my gosh,
I've
how
got
are they
nothing.
traveling and
Yeah,
being so successful?
keeping up with the Kardashians, like, ugh.
And most of
No,
them,
thank you.
what I found is that most of them, the way that they make money is by linking someone else to make money.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm making money with every referral I make to this other guy who's making money, who's also referring these other guys who make money. It's like, so where's the value creation here? I don't understand.
You talking
and-
about pyramid scheme?
No, we're talking about social media influencers. You know, they travel, they take pictures, whatever. It's great. How do they make money? Oh, they link these other guys who are influencers, who link these other guys who are influencers. It's like, okay, where's the creation here? Where's the value creation?
Entertainment.
Yeah, exactly. That's their value creation, and it's, I don't know. It just doesn't feel solid to me.
Most of them are pretty women that
Yeah.
take pictures in expensive places.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it is.
Yep. Exactly. And it's creating a whole new market with OnlyFans and all that. I mean, I personally know people who have gone to OnlyFans.
I do too.
It's just like, okay. I mean, if you make money selling your feet pics or whatever, great.
Oh, that's rough.
I mean, I see it as it's like it's fine, but I'm not gonna date you
Oh, no.
if you're doing
Yeah.
that. I'm
No,
sorry.
thank
It's
you.
like, I don't know. It seems like an invasion a little bit, but a self-induced invasion.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyways,
Yeah.
yes, people who make money as an influencer, very interesting. I'm not entirely 100% sure where their value creation comes from, besides entertainment, besides being pretty looking people in pretty looking places.
Yeah.
You know, both men and women. It's very interesting. And I don't even know what kind of market that would be.
I guess they could call it inspiring, but really it just makes all the normal people feel like crap because they're not that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I've never really been inspired by those. It's more
I haven't
just
either.
like, wow, I'm kind of sucky.
I get more inspired by a zero to hero story, you know?
Yeah.
I like those from rags to riches.
Yeah, or quotes or anything like that. It's yeah. But compare yourself. Don't listen to those Instagram influencers. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today.
And track your progress.
Yes. And
Yeah.
as for myself, I know the person I was yesterday, we'll say yesteryear, has come a hell of a long way. So
Well, just look at the goals of what you've done,
yeah, and what
like
you've
for the
accomplished.
past 6 months or whatever. And
What we've all done, really.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Just in
Yeah.
general for everybody.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then look at how far you've come.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And for the listeners out there, very good. If you start feeling a little down in life with where you're at, a very good tool that I've used is you create a list of goals for yourself. You create goals into the future, 5-10 years. You create goals into the past that you've had 5-10 years. And you check off the ones that you've completed and things that you wanted to do that you've now done. And I can almost guarantee you'll feel a heck of a lot better.
Sure.
It's way cool to see how far you've come based on what you used to be, because it's very hard to see in the moment your progression.
Yep.
So anyway, on to rule number 5. Do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. We kind of got to go over this one a little quickly because none of us have kids.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know much about this.
I don't know
have
much
kids.
about it, but basically what Papa Peterson's saying in this is that he essentially feels like if you dislike your kid, you're not going to have a great relationship with them,
Other kids will
Growing
dislike
up.
them.
and other kids will dislike them. Yeah.
There's going to be an infinite revenge game. That's what he
Yeah.
was talking about.
Yeah, because the parents will seethe onto that, or seethe with whatever the kid did, and then they'll come back and have revenge on the kid without even realizing it, and it just turns into a catch-22, huh?
You'll make it harder for them to make friends and stuff by not
Yeah.
properly like teaching them and socializing them and all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
If they're not properly socialized by age 4,
4.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
Four,
4.
yeah.
Then pretty much they're doomed.
Yep.
So
I don't believe that completely, but that's where I disagree. I feel like people have a choice when they get older
oh yeah,
to notice.
but
Everybody's
up,
got enough
up
brain
through
power.
their younger years, then it would be really hard for them to
Oh, yeah.
be sociable. But once they become an adult and they can make their own choices, choose their own life, then
It's
yeah.
up to them at that point.
Exactly. Yeah, each man is his own creator.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll shoot right past that one. Pretty self-explanatory. On to rule number 6. Set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. Now this one. Yeah, this one's a Pandora's box, isn't it?
This sounds like
As-
the airplane stuff, you know? Take care of yourself before you can take care of the other people.
Yeah.
Because you can't pass out before they do, you know? You gotta-
Yes, or
That's true.
it sounds like what's the one parable I heard where there was someone getting stoned, or they were gonna stone someone, and Jesus was like, hey, he who hath no sin, cast the first stone. That, I truly believe there's some great moral lessons in religion. And that's one of them that's just like, bam, yes. If you, and it has to do with judgment too. Judge not, lest ye be judged. It's like, it's so cool to think about where your judgment upon someone is essentially, we'll work upon the premise that each man is his own creator, okay? And so if you're judging another person, creating for another person, a judgment is generally negative. And so what you're creating for them is negativity. You are doing the closest thing one can get to putting a curse on someone without actively cursing them. You know? It's I've actually got a poem upon this very subject. So
Have we ever plugged your book? Maybe the first episode?
plugged my book. Oh,
Yeah,
maybe
we have.
not. We have? Oh, okay.
I think.
Yeah, on the when we talk
Intro?
about our goals
Intro probably then.
Oh,
or
yeah.
our accomplishments. Yeah,
Okay, good.
but we can do it again.
Yeah, let's
Go
over
ahead.
it.
No? Well, I'm going to read this poem. It seems so applicable.
All right.
Yeah. For those of you listeners who like poetry, you're welcome. For those of you who don't, then just, yeah. Gonna get it a little bit anyway.
Plug your ears.
Yeah, plug your ears, close your eyes.
It's gonna get rough.
All right, this poem is titled Judgment. It says, is it wrong that I say and I try to look into the future of someone else's life? And that's talking about where you're actively judging them and putting that negative vibe towards them, right? So you're looking into their future and saying, oh, it's going to be negative from here on out in this respect. To impose upon them that which is my convoluted perception. Again, your judgment may or may not be a accurate description of them, depending how well you know them. So it is simply your perception. Their life, their trial, their free will, made estranged by my thoughts and feel. Again, anything that they any perception they had of themselves will be convoluted by your judgments. My mouth writing the script to their song, but I ask, is it wrong? I am but a man created in light, so how can I say things that give nothing but spite? Again, judgment is generally negative. It is not it's not a positive thing.
Yeah, usually if the opposite, they'd say it's praise, not judgment.
Praise or a compliment. Yeah, exactly. And here it gets a little wordy. The conception of my perception for their connection in this place should not create a deflection of attention away from their gaze. And that is a difficult way of saying the idea of my thought of someone should not deflect their attention away from their goals, their hopes and dreams, their positivity, right? And their right by the Almighty to create that which they choose will not, cannot be decided by you. Basically, during this exploration of judgment that I had, the thought that I came to was, yeah, we have no right to judge. Not only do we have no right, but we actively have the right to not judge. So, very, very interesting. Apologize. Just definitely had to shout that out there because it's one of my favorites.
Just mind your own freaking business, basically.
Yeah. Your opinion is your opinion. It's your business. Sweet.
Exactly.
Everyone's entitled to it. You don't have to act upon it.
Yep.
Amen. Hear, hear.
Everybody's
And
got
element.
skeletons in their closet is basically what it's saying. Stop
Mhm.
Stop like judging other people before you take a good hard look at yourself.
Yeah, don't be looking at their rattling bones when you got bones rattling in your
Mhm.
closet.
Yep.
All right. Set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. On to number 7. Pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. Thoughts on this one?
So basically, it's what I get out of this is a a little bit of delayed gratification and a lot of find what's meaningful, something meaningful for your life to pursue, even if it takes a long time. Because usually what's expedient, what takes, super fast. Say you get home, it's hard to, get down and start working on a project that you want to accomplish, but it's easy to turn on the TV and start watching TV and zone out. That's expedient. That's what you want right immediately now. Working may not what you want now, but it's meaningful for your future.
Oh yeah, definitely. Or saving a couple bucks rather than buying a cheeseburger.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. It's meaningful to save that money towards your future, towards even your savings, investing. It's all towards your future. And when I say future, I don't mean like, yes, I'm suffering my entire life to have a couple years of good retirement. It's like, no, you're saving to create a better future sooner. Each dollar you save and invest correctly, you're going to create that future sooner. So you don't have to struggle all of your life just to have a few years of retirement. And the expediency would be buying a burger.
Yep.
So basically, don't do instant gratification.
Yeah, try to avoid instant gratification and do what is meaningful instead. If you're wanting to go eat a bunch of sugar, wanting to go rip a bowl of cereal, do some workouts instead, or just decide to get water instead, or a fruit, something to satisfy that craving that will be meaningful for your body in the long run, not expedient, and something that activates your reward center.
Yeah.
That could kind of coincide with habit and addiction, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, habit and
quite a
addiction
bit.
have everything to do with expediency.
Yeah.
Instant gratification. Yeah. Just moderation in most things.
Yes.
Yep.
As we established a couple times ago, most things.
Most
You don't
things.
want to moderately do meth. Just
If you
don't.
were going to do it, though.
Might as well be moderately, huh?
Yeah.
I say if you're
best
gonna
at
do
it.
it, go hard, bro.
Yeah.
If you're going to do the...
Put your 100% in everything you do.
Eat that whole bag. I don't know how you take meth, but...
Into the veins, right?
Needle, right?
I thought meth was
Pretty sure it's-
smoke. You smoke meth.
What do you put in
Ah.
your veins?
Heroin.
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 It's all the same to me.
Sugar.
It's all the same.
Only the names change,
Guys,
right?
yeah.
All
And
right.
the high.
Wouldn't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't know either, but I've heard after you've had a heroin high, it's so addictive because you can't have a high anywhere near, like, ever again.
Yeah. That's what I've heard
Because
too.
it releases
Nothing's close
so
to
much
it.
serotonin, you just can't do anything about it. Deadens everything else. And that's in today's society, heroin, sugar, and porn are probably the three most addictive substances in the world.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Mm.
And 2 of those are legal.
And 2 of those are normal.
Yes. Isn't that crazy?
Alcohol too.
It's
Yes.
yeah.
I'd have to
Alcohol's
say
up there.
that's
Yeah. That would definitely be up there in the most abused substances.
Yeah.
Although if it's a substance, how do you use it responsibly? If it's an addictive substance, I don't know. It'd be very hard.
Occasionally.
nicotine
Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
smoking tobacco with
It's
the boys.
also up there. But
I don't know.
again, moderation in most things if it's something worth moderating.
Yeah.
Otherwise, get rid of it. So, and because of that heroin thing, I have a hard time believing that sugar is more addictive than heroin, which is what I've heard. Although, as far as actual addiction, I could believe it. As far as like the high it would give you, I wouldn't believe sugar would get anywhere close.
Yeah, that's a tricky one
Although
because
it does taste really
it
good.
tastes good, but like honestly, I'm not into that sugar that much. Like, I don't even like candy anymore.
Yeah.
I like salt more.
I like chocolate sometimes. Ooh.
Salt and vinegar chips.
I'd way rather eat a bag
My
of chips than eat
favorite.
a bag of like Skittles.
You can only eat a handful of Skittles, though, before your stomach hurts, and you're like, ugh.
Yeah, that's all. Take that. Those mini M&Ms, though.
Oh,
Those are a different level, dude.
they're so good.
So good.
I could throw those right in my veins. Yeah. And here we go straying again. That's okay. We're just meandering.
Yeah, we're meandering off the path. We're
Yes.
smelling the flowers.
Yes. Pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. Again, just to recap, don't go for the instant gratification. Try doing some prolonged gratification, and it will better your future.
Take the road less traveled.
Yes, exactly. All right. Now, rule number 8 is tell the truth, or at least don't lie. Here we go with those white lies. And the white lie is more of you leave certain things out. You don't necessarily tell the whole truth. So it's technically not lying, but it's...
It's misdirection.
Yeah.
Falsehood by omission? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I don't know what the first word is, because falsehood doesn't sound good. Like lie by omission or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And this one lifts a lot of weight off one's shoulders when you actively don't lie, especially when it comes to things that matter. You know, if you're lying all the time, then you have to lie more to cover up the lies.
Yeah.
It becomes such a burden upon someone. Whereas telling the truth, I mean, you say it once and it's done. You don't have to worry about it.
It might be painful for a minute, and it might get you in trouble to tell the truth, but
Yeah.
it's always better in the end, because then you're not stuck in a pit of lies trying to dig your way out with a shovel that's just digging yourself deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And plus, people aren't going to trust you if you lie all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And trust is the main glue that holds people together.
And one of the hardest things to get back once you've lost it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's the truth.
I saw
Sad silence.
I saw a picture of a broken glass, and it said, lies are like this glass. Like, you can break it, and then once you put it together, it might be together, but it's never going to look the same. You
Yeah.
know? If you glue it back together, it's never going to look the same because you broke it once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So tell the truth, or at least don't lie.
Or just don't say anything.
Yeah, just shut up.
Shut your
Be
mouth.
quiet. I plead the fifth.
Yes, least said, easiest mended.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yep.
I like that. Be a man of few words, even though I am not. I'm a man of too many words sometimes. Fun little fact for you. I would get in trouble in elementary school all the time for talking. Like, that was my only flaw as an elementary student, I guess, was my teachers. Every time they met with my parents, he talks so much. Every time. So, it's a good time. Got in trouble for it a lot. School is oppression. Yeah.
Yeah. That's another podcast.
Yep.
We will talk about it, too. I know it.
Oh, we'll talk about it. I have too many strong feelings against the school system to not.
Yeah, that one would be aggressive.
PG-13. Just kidding.
Yeah.
All right. So on to rule number 9. Assume that the person you are listening to might know something you don't. This has gotten me more connections than probably any other rule out there.
We talked about this too, and how to win friends and influence people. This is one of the rules that
Yes.
it says.
Yeah, so that means you got to know it's good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's in several different books.
Yeah.
Because everybody really does know something you don't
Yeah.
about something.
Likely many somethings.
Many somethings.
Even if it's only about themselves.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I mean, people could teach you a lot. It's cool being able to network with people. And you ask questions. You ask the deep questions. One of my favorites is, what religion do you belong to? And they'll answer, and then I say, why? That's a cool one.
People always freeze up on that one.
Oh, yeah.
That was.
Uh,
Wait, what?
Or I've asked
I didn't
someone,
expect
jumped in
that.
the middle of a conversation because I was kind of listening and I wasn't talking much. And then I said, "Do you believe in God?" And he threw him off so good. It was awesome. Or I'll just ask them about their past or about who they are. I'll be like, "So who are you being recently?" And they'll just get way thrown off. It's so fun. I love it.
An interesting one that I ask, like I make a point to ask most people when I ask them or start talking to somebody, is what books they read.
Oh,
What
yeah.
books are their favorite books?
I always ask them, "Do you listen or do you read books?" And then I ask them what ones. Mostly it's fantasy. Sometimes I get someone who's doing some self-improvement something. It's fun. But if it's fantasy, I usually go down a different path with them.
Yeah.
After that.
Change the subject.
Yeah, not that fantasy's bad, but you don't learn much besides moral stories, which are great, but most people don't read them for the moral. They read them for the escape from real life. Oh. Oh. Whoa. Sorry, my mic's on fire. There's too much fire coming out here.
Little Hiram he played the listening game real good. Over the weekend when we're all hanging out, he would ask your brother, Bruce, one question, then Bruce would just go off, and then Hiram would sit there with his legs crossed, just listening. Then he'd stop, ask another question, and it'd be on for another 15 minutes. You're all, Hiram, I know what you're doing. You sneaky boy. But he's good at it.
It's actually a really good way to get to know people because people love to talk about themselves.
Yep.
They
Yeah.
really do. So if
Yeah,
you
it's
ask them
fantastic.
questions about themselves, they won't stop.
Yeah, that's the secret of life right there.
Yeah.
Summed up.
Yep. Well, it's the secret to figuring out people.
Yeah. Ask them questions
Yep.
about themselves.
Yep.
But not just like, how are you now?
Yeah.
Good, and you?
Not dumb questions.
What's
Don't
your
ask
favorite
dumb
color? No, ask them open-ended questions. Like, why did you decide to move out? You know?
Because I decided. I'm just kidding. No, I am moving out though officially. So,
Oh, are you officially?
yeah, I thought
Okay.
about what
Heck
you
yeah.
said, and I thought about my brain, and I was like, yeah, I've got to move out. Yep.
Okay, yep.
Where you going?
Makes sense.
I don't know yet. Haven't found a place. But
Just leaving.
Sweet. With Don?
Getting out.
Sweet.
Anyway, let's get back to the
Good.
podcast. That's a
Good
whole
for you.
nother
Heck
talk.
yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yes, do what is meaningful, Zave, not expedient, right? Though it may cost you more, it will be more meaningful. Amen. Okay.
Throw myself right in the pit of chaos.
Yeah, that's what we like. Just a toe in order, and then the rest of you in chaos.
One foot in each, right?
Yeah, that's what he says, but I prefer to ride that line hard. If I was on a skateboard, I'd be grinding that line.
I'm kind of on the side of chaos. Like,
Hanging
holding
on.
the edge, peek over order.
Take a sip. It's a good time.
Yeah.
I'll go from extreme order to just leaping into chaos.
Like a fish.
Oh yeah, I'm like a dolphin, dude. Yin and yang, baby, swimming in that
Yeah.
pool. It's fun.
It's actually crazy when you read this book. Like yin and yang starts to like be
Make
more
more sense.
meaningful
Yeah.
and make more sense than just the symbol that everybody throws on everything.
Yeah. I like the way that Avatar: The Last Airbender portrayed them.
Oh, the fish.
Two fish swimming back and forth, and they each had a part of each other in themselves. It was just, I don't know, something about
moon
that
and the
show.
tide.
Yeah,
That
that
show's
show
really good.
is just one of the top. If you have not seen it, please do.
Probably
It's a good
one
one.
of the best animated series ever created.
It's
Yep.
very good.
You know what else is? One Punch.
Yeah,
It's a very good one as
I
well.
love One Punch Man. But not because of the good moral lessons in it, just because it's
Comedy.
hilarious. Yeah,
It's very well
Yeah.
animated too. It's pretty. It's pretty.
it is. It is very pretty. Attack on Titan, I love too.
Yes, well, that one's just
That
Violent.
one's
A little
intense.
violent.
That one's
but-
very intense.
But I liked it a lot. Anyway, assume that the person you're listening to might know something you don't. Try to learn something new every day. Not only try to learn something new every day, but try to learn something new every day from another human. Yes,
Yes.
like from their mouth.
This is for you, antisocial people.
Yes, all you introverts,
From one introvert to another.
speak to people.
Use your lips.
Are you an introvert anymore? Can you even call yourself
so
that?
hard, dude.
Still?
So hard.
All right.
Yeah, this is probably the most I talk like all week.
Oh, really? Well, someone's got some talking to do.
I don't know. That's another talk.
I see.
talk
We'll
about
talk
it
about
later.
introverts later.
Yeah.
All right. On to Rule 10. Be precise in your speech. We actually made a goal as a group for this, and that was to get rid of unconscious swear words in our vocabulary. We all started with this goal, and then some of us have since stopped doing this goal. I mean, most of us have stopped doing it because
Yeah.
it's not,
Too hard anymore.
for me, it's not an issue anymore. Yeah, exactly.
And it was one for me that I didn't really see
As an issue.
as an issue,
Yeah.
or not even that, is just like it wasn't meaningful for me. I didn't get anything out of it besides the be precise in your speech.
Yeah, and that's what it was for me, was to expand my vocabulary, because swearing for me had become a filler word. Become like, become like, a,
Like.
the, you know? Just da. The Grinch. Yeah, I still do that one too much. But less than I used to, eh?
Oh,
A.
So sneaky.
we could get some maple syrup for you and
Please.
a plaid.
I love maple syrup on my spaghetti. I've not tried that yet, but
I haven't either.
maybe one day
It
I
looks
will.
terrible.
Hard pass.
I'll just make the elf spaghetti.
Go throw some M and
All
M's
that
or whatever
candy.
in there.
Eat it with my hands.
It'd probably be good.
Rip some Pop
Sweet
Tarts on
crunchy
there.
spaghetti.
It would not be good. That would not be
I think
good.
it
I
would
don't
be
think
pretty
so.
good if you
think so
didn't
too.
add anything salty. So it was plain noodles, and you're doing only sweet stuff. It might be pretty fun.
With maple syrup, it'd be good.
Yeah, I
That'd
think
be so sweet.
it would be
though.
very odd.
Someone try it and let us know.
Once I'm off the diet, I'll try.
Yeah,
it.
listeners, why don't you go ahead and try it? Let us know. I don't want it.
I'm scared.
Yeah, I'm terrified. That is not the chaos I want. So the point of, like I said, the point of not swearing unconsciously was to expand my vocabulary and to get rid of those filler swear words for me. So
Yeah.
that has been very beneficial. I gained a lot from that one, and I have since not had an issue with it. I mean, we did that one since the very beginning, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it's
was
one of the
part of the
first
first
On
one.
inception, that was one of the first rules, wasn't it? One of the
Yeah.
first goals we made as a group. That was fun. We should probably revisit that. That'd be interesting to look at, see what we've accomplished, see where we've gone. Another
Yeah.
time, another meeting.
Another time.
Maybe we'll hit that up in the next meeting. But yes, be precise in your speech. Expand your vocabulary. Make sure your words aren't wasted.
Yes, and I would say, this kind of goes along with Rule 8 as well. It's like be precise in what you believe as well. Like if you're,
Yeah.
because when you're talking, some people do this is to where they're talking to another person and they'll disagree with the other person, but because they want the other person to like them, they'll agree with what they're saying and be like, oh yeah, I totally like that. Or you see the guys in shows where a girl's like, oh, I love this place, and they're like, oh yeah, I love that place too, and they've
Yeah.
never been there. It's like you're just lying and you're not being precise because
Mm-hmm.
it's inaccurate.
Yep.
Know what you're going to say, format it in a way that's easily understood, and get your point across straight. I struggle with this a lot. I have a very hard time speaking, but
I think you're doing pretty good. Try to say it in the least words possible while sounding coherent and competent.
yeah,
Articulating. Good at articulating.
Yes.
Yeah.
Be articulate. Thank you, Jess. Can't be all Noah hungry. Noah wants food. It may be precise, but you won't expand your vocabulary, and you'll not be articulate. You'll sound dumb.
and know what you're talking about before you start talking about it.
Yes. Although,
You can have an opinion.
Well, no,
no, I'll tell you with that one. Yes, definitely know what you're talking about, and it's impossible to know everything about what you're talking about, right?
right. But if
So
I
you could
started,
always be proven wrong.
Just
or
make an
whatever.
educated guess if you're gonna,
but
or
if I
not
start
even
talking
guess,
about like
just-
football, I have no clue anything about it, and I start being like, "This is what happens. This is what happens."
go
Yeah.
Patriots.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't
Just-
know.
So
I don't
in that
know
case,
anything.
what you might be able to do is just talk about what you do know about football.
Yeah, exactly.
People get tackled, you know.
People get tackled and there's a ball.
and there's broken bones sometimes. Yeah.
Not often. I'd say more in
Because it's safe.
basketball. I bet people get more hurt in basketball.
Jesse would know.
Concussions,
He's
though?
watched the most sports out of us, I think.
I would think because football, everyone's used to getting knocked around. In basketball, not so much. So when they get knocked down and around, they're not ready
And
for it.
they're
And
huge.
they
Bigger
are
they
tall.
are, the harder they
yes,
fall.
7-foot person hitting their head on the floor is a far drop.
Oh.
But yeah, they're just not used to falling like a football player would be, so they might take it wrong. Kind of.
Yeah. That's fair.
I can see that.
So be precise in your speech and at least have an idea of what you're talking about. Do not spit falsities. Yes.
Yeah, that's kinda
Don't
what I was
lie.
going for. Don't lie.
Don't lie when you know nothing. Okay. On to rule 11. Do not bother children when they are skateboarding.
One of my favorites.
Me too.
Let kids explore. That's what this one is, right? Let kids explore and be dangerous and
Yeah.
live their life, basically.
It's basically don't like shelter your kids so much that they can't go experience crap, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes a broken arm is a good thing. Sometimes, you know, those kids that do crazy crap, like, let them do it, you know?
They're more, yeah, like what you said, exploring your boundaries and your limits and seeing the extent of what you're capable of doing.
Well, you need to let kids do it anyways, because once they get older, they're going to, quote, rebel
Yeah.
and do it a lot more or a lot worse. Instead of
Yeah.
letting them learn from a young age, like, yeah, go touch the stove or whatever. Not inspire them to,
Yeah,
but
but
they
like,
touch the stove.
gonna
Then
do
they
it?
learn, don't touch the stove. It's hot.
yeah.
Stuff like that.
That
So, yeah,
nails that one pretty
don't
good.
bother
It's-
when they're skateboarding.
Yeah, let them do crazy shows, even if you're like cringing, like, why would you do that, man?
Or like people running up to the edge of a cliff. That one gets me every time I get butterflies.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Who's out there doing that? What the?
All
that's
my
ass.
sisters and brothers, dude, they don't care. They're like 8 years old. They'll just be like, oh, a cliff that could definitely kill me if I fall off of it. All the way up to the edge. Stops on the edge. Like, what?
I'd walk up,
I'm like,
but I
what
certainly
in the
wouldn't
heck?
run.
Yeah.
That's
As a
balls.
kid, I was so cautious. I'd be like crawling to the edge on all
Cautious?
fours.
You and Noah used to eat freaking rare flowers.
Hey, we don't need to talk about us.
Cautious, though.
We did a lot of stuff. We almost burned down the house.
It was a good time. It was a good time. That's all I can say.
Let me skateboard, okay?
Yeah. It's skateboard, Dad. It's not just a phase. So,
Yeah.
essentially, just let your kids be explorative. Let them get hurt sometimes. You know, they have to experience the world to become tough.
Mm-hmm.
But don't be one of those parents that's entirely not there and just be like, oh, yeah, these kids will get tough. I'm going to name my kid Sue, you know?
Yeah,
Just let him,
Boy
let him
named
go
Sue.
fight all the time.
it's
But-
tricky.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting balance, and I'm excited for when I get to put that into practice myself.
Well, and at the start of the book, I don't even know why he didn't mention this after, but he said, do you want your kid to be safe or do you want him to be strong?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one because safety is weakness in this world.
It is. And that's everyone right now. What
Yeah.
I would say is like my freedom is more important than your fear.
That's what it is. Who says that? Or the quote?
Here,
Some
frickety frickin' here.
they say those who desire what safety over freedom deserve
Neither.
yeah.
Yes. Was that?
Benjamin Franklin.
That's what I was gonna say.
That's what I think, but I don't know.
Finish each other's sandwiches.
That's not the full quote though. It's actually way better, but you know.
Yeah, those who would sacrifice their freedom in return for safety deserve neither. Essentially,
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
deserve neither safety nor freedom. There, that was it, right?
I feel like there's something missing in there.
All right, I'm gonna look it up.
There's
because we
a
have to
little
know.
part in there that I swear it doesn't have. It's awkward silence.
It's all right. We got this.
Want me
Hold
to
on one sec.
I can sing.
'Kay.
You guys want me to sing?
Yes, please.
Here we go. So here's the quote, the official quote. Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety.
So you got it, basically.
Amen.
Yeah.
Again, here. Slap your canes on the ground, you know? Stomp your feet. All right. So,
Respect for your kids go along with this quite well too. Like,
Mhm.
oh.
I don't know, you respect your kids gonna respect you back. You're gonna have a good relationship. But if not, then it's gonna be a contentious household.
I don't know. It's hard for me to speak on any parenting because I'm like I'm building up a whole thing of the way I want to parent my kid, but I'm like,
Me too.
I don't know if that's
I
the right
haven't
way.
done it yet.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you have no clue until you actually try it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I haven't stayed up for a week in a row with a kid that just won't sleep, you know.
I'm excited for that, actually.
Yeah.
Not going to lie. Like, I know it's going to be rough to have a kid, but I'm so excited to have kids.
Me too.
I want them.
Very. So do not bother children when they are skateboarding. Let them experience the world in a manner sufficient to strengthen them.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Amen. And on to the 12th and final rule. Pet a cat when you encounter one on the street. And doesn't he say, or a dog if you're so inclined? Something like that.
Something like that.
I don't remember the whole reasoning to this one. That it was a
It
while,
was-
and it's the one where I'm like at the end of the book, so I'm already like, okay, got most of it. Never remember this
To
one.
me, like, take little joys when you can.
Yeah, that's kind of what it was. Just experience the moment, experience little wins, as it were.
Just
Yeah.
say
This
catting or
This is the one that he was talking about his daughter with, right?
I think so,
About
yeah.
his daughter when she would get better at some point and then go back to her low points or whatever.
Yeah, and his daughter experienced, wasn't it rheumatoid arthritis or something like that?
I don't think it was rheumatoid.
I don't remember
But it
what it
was
was
some
called.
sort of like juvenile arthritis.
Juvenile
All of her
arthritis? Okay.
joints are all messed up.
There's a lot of, she was in a lot of pain, essentially. They tried a lot of different things. They tried a lot of different drugs. He talks about all of her addictions to those and how much it messed with her childhood. And he gets rather emotional in this section of the book, which I think is freaking fantastic. I don't like a book where it's just read flat, you know. I love the emotion in one's voice. So he does get rather emotional in this chapter, and it was pretty touching to see that these small wins made everything worth it. So enjoy those small moments. You know, you pet that cat when it comes up to you, because you may or may not get that chance again, kind of thing.
Looks like we nailed him.
Yeah. Killed
Yeah,
it.
Feels pretty
Wow.
good.
I actually love how when he talks about like talking to people and them sharing their stories with him, he'll get really emotional about
Oh
it.
yeah,
You can
It's
tell it's
awesome.
like so serious for him.
yeah. It's his ultimate passion in life, and he's freaking loving. It's not he's entirely humble about it too, but he has such a profound impact, and it's touching for him to see that in the world.
Yeah.
That he himself is having an impact.
It's like seeing the flower actually like start to bloom.
Yeah,
After
after
you've
you've
taken
planted
it.
all these
Yeah.
seeds.
Yes, he's found his personal legend.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Dadgummit, Jesse.
Savage.
That was a good one. That was a reference to The Alchemist. That was a couple podcasts ago.
Yeah.
For those of you who do not know, that was a good one, Jess.
Woo.
I liked that book a lot.
That's a really
Continue to like it. I read it probably 3-4 times a year.
good one. Mm-hmm.
It's good.
Same with this one. This book actually right here, 12 Rules for Life, has honestly, I could say, changed my life a couple times. Every time I read it, it sets me on a whole different path.
Yeah.
I'm like, whew, yeah, I need that again.
Yep. It's good stuff. And I read it. I've read this one 3 or 4 times, and every time it's fantastic.
It's fantastic.
Yes. All right.
All right.
So as far as our next book, for the listeners out there, we are doing the Creature from Jekyll Island by, what was his name again?
Oh, I guess that. One sec.
Something Griffith. Howard C. Griffith, I think. Wasn't it?
That doesn't sound right.
All right, that wasn't right. Ignore that.
It might be right. I don't know.
Well, let's see.
G. Edward Griffin.
G. Edward Griffin.
There you go.
Well,
Oh,
we'll put a link to Creature from Jekyll Island. And we'll be talking about that one in 2 podcasts. In the meantime, we are working on getting some more guests on here. And we're going to be just having more podcasts going.
Yeah. The journey never stops.
Nay. Every Monday. And we're It's very fun forming this habit because every Monday, if we don't do the podcast on Monday, it throws me right the heck off for the week. It's weird. It feels odd because it's such an enjoyable time. It's great to see everyone. It's great to, well, add our little bit of value to the world, hopefully, and go from there. But like, subscribe,
Comment, share.
comment, yes, share. We are on Patreon. Please subscribe to that. It'd be fantastic. You will get our podcasts quicker. You'll get them unedited, as well as our meetings should you subscribe to the higher tiers, and you can get exclusive Infinity Summit Group merch.
Heck yeah.
Let us know what you guys think. Please email us if you have any questions or concerns, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Peace out.